plans for how we're going to iterate on it over time, it meant
You
that
beautiful,
upfront
beautiful
we had to spend
gentleman.
$35 rather than maybe purchasing things a la carte. And that strategy is a strategy that we're changing now that we're in control.
Yeah, if you think of New Light like a baseline, we're thinking of our content kind of like, atomic.
That's
packages
wonderful.
that go on top of that. So Destiny 2 Shadowkeep is completely standalone. It's an expansion pack and it's standalone. It's an expand-alone, I guess is what you would call it.
You don't need to play Forsaken. You don't need to play Curse of Osiris, Warmind. You don't have to have played Drifter, none of it.
You buy it and you jump right in. But, we want to do that with seasons too. And so going forward, our seasons, you're going to be able to jump in and have a great free experience, and that's awesome. But if you want that, access to some of the premium content, you can jump in and buy that season, season 8 separately from season 9.
Yep. So another part that we have had trouble with over the years is answering questions around things like exclusive content. We have had exclusive activities, exclusive weapons, things like this, and those things violate kind of that second part of the vision, which is that single evolving world. So going forward and beginning this fall,
single community of players. Where
Oh, you mean Activision
let's play this right
won't
now. Sorry,
require
I don't
you to
to
have
check on my box.
exclusive content on one platform at the expense of everyone else's experience?
exclusive activity content, no
Wonderful.
exclusive, gameplay things like
I know I sound like a jerk, but geez.
So, there's one
As
more
a
thing,
lifetime
I wanna share
Xbox
before we
player,
close that
I
this
felt
year,
particularly
Destiny
slighted.
2 on PC needs to find a new home.
Some would say we need to find an epic partner.
Yeah, and so we need to find a new home, and because we're self-publishing Destiny now, and we're truly on our own, and so Destiny 2 is going to be coming.
Woo!
And this means that anyone currently playing Destiny 2,
wow.
they're going to be able to come over to Steam, free of charge. They're going to continue their accounts. They're going to continue all their possessions. Going to move.
Everything
over.
about
Their
Destiny is
licenses gonna
currently
access,
amazing.
whatever, it all comes over. And Shadowkeep, the D2 expansion that's coming out this fall, is going to be shipping exclusively on.
Could not be
Like
happier
when you
about
relocate
this.
for a
Wow,
job,
wow, wow.
And they relocate you, and like a van shows up at your house and loads all
These
your stuff.
announcements
and
are
then takes you to
insane.
your new house, and it's all there. But this time we're gonna like unpack it and move you over to Steam.
How exactly this is all going to happen? There's going to be a website on BungieNet somewhere that describes it in more detail. But we want the transition to be really seamless for players and a really good experience.
So a thing that we want to try to do to wrap all of this up is do the Instagram cut down version of everything we just talked about in 20 seconds. So the vision for Destiny going forward is pretty simple. It's an awesome action MMO in a single evolving world that you can play anywhere. By playing anywhere, that means cross-save across all of our platforms. We have a new platform that we're adding this year, Stadia. We have a new entry point for the game called Destiny 2 New Light, which is free. And everything we add to the game is going to be purchased a la carte going forward. So Shadowkeep, Season 8. Let's say in Season 8 we start to lay the foundation for some changes we want to make to PvP, but it doesn't tempt you to come back yet. Well, maybe in Season 9 we'll have something that's going to make you want to come back for sure. No more exclusives going forward for us in terms of gameplay and armor and weapons. And if you're playing the game on PC, we're moving to
Oh my
Steam.
gosh.
That's kind of like that's the end of the set list. The encore.
I mean, it's almost like getting away from Activision ultimately saved Destiny.
Yeah, they've been watching two dudes talk to you for 12 minutes or whatever.
So, the main event is coming up. Dato's behind us getting ready. But first, let's take a look at a new Vidoc called Out of the Shadows.
Oh, wow. Who loves their community? Destiny loves their community.
Beginning of a new era, and I think beginning is an important part of that sentence.
This is the first time I think that, in a long time that Bungie has stood kind of on its own.
And we're self-publishing. It's a really big deal. There's a huge opportunity here for us to really make our own decisions.
It's a turning point for us.
We are in charge of our own destiny.
It's empowering and terrifying at the same time.
There are only two groups who are going to decide what happens to Destiny next. Bungie and the players who play Destiny. So at its core, Shadowkeep is about returning to the moon.
We haven't been in the moon in a while since Destiny 1, and a lot's changed.
When you go back, it isn't exactly what you thought it was.
There's like huge cracks ripped
I mean,
into
there were
it.
huge
There's a
cracks in the
weird
moon
scarlet
before, weren't there?
fortress, And so the context of the moon has been updated entirely.
Oh, that's so cool.
This isn't just about the hive anymore.
How-
It's about something else, something.
I knew it. Whoa, 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 whoa,
The
Whoa.
moon this time around is something really scary that is
Whoa.
playing on your fear in a way that hasn't happened before. Before it was, oh, it's a big
that-
giant thing and it's scary.
was that Crota?
Now there's actual like some psychological elements to that.
How long has it sat in silence?
Can't y'all just like
Much.
can't an
Long.
Activision less Bungie
Instantly signals
like
to
just
players
hire
that
Marty?
shift and
Can Marty
change.
ever come back? Some
There's
pro bono
an
work.
undertone of threatening and psychological horror.
You're all insufferable!
We want to tap into what makes Guardians afraid. What are their worst fears?
Shadowkeep refers to the things that Eris unleashed on the solar system. Nightmares are manifestations of a Guardian's past.
Oh my gosh.
The villains that you thought were well into the ground actually weren't, and they were being resurrected by the darkness.
What?
Eris is trying to figure out how she unleashed this kind of madness, and so she needs your help. You can't just kill them and make them go away.
What if you can't do all of the things that you've grown accustomed to doing?
Being unable to achieve what you're trying to achieve, no matter how hard you try.
Despair and hopelessness.
Players, they think we can deal with this. We killed Crota, like we killed Oryx, like no big deal, right? Well, you're gonna get there and you discover it's a bigger deal than you even thought it could be.
The darkness is actually a lot closer than you realized.
Now you
Fogoth?
know my suffering.
Oh man, I am just scratching myself right now. As a Destiny fan, this is just incredible. I cannot believe.
It's been a year, basically, of just a constant two-way dialogue.
It's like a
with all
huge
of our
weight has
passionate
been lifted
players
off their
caring
shoulders.
for
Like,
us.
I can't believe this.
That's really informed what it is that players want out of the Destiny game and how we're evolving. Not just
Destiny is literally the boy who
world,
lived.
But what happens to you as a guardian?
And Activision is Voldemort.
A bunch of the work that we're doing is about adding depth to the character sheet. You know, the teams are thinking about how do we want to evolve armor, get more stats into the game, get more player customization. How can we get the depth of pursuit for how you want to play with this awesome character you've been building now for, you know, some of us 5 years.
And like completely new ways of deepening the like character RPG that we all know and love and want
And wanted to make in the first place. Were it not for our publisher. I'm not gonna stop saying it.
In Shadowkeep, we
I feel like Bungie's
fundamentally
back.
evolving the systems and moving the world forward.
You want to bring some of that sci-fi element back to it, where it's
I feel like they are back. I feel like they are Bizak.
been dancing this line between them, like, are we RPG enough? Are we not RPG enough? And now we're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all in and just say, like, hey, let's give players what they want. Allow them to kind of like customize the players and their habits and their game modes and all that stuff as much as they want to.
So in Shadowkeep, what we're doing is changing the way that armor, perks, and mods work pretty significantly.
Right now in the game, if you have an armor set that you like the look of, but you have another armor set that you like the way it plays, you're probably going to pick the one that you like the way it plays.
Armor 2.0 is focused
Oh my
on
gosh.
allowing you to take the mods that you've unlocked and apply them to any given piece of armor.
When I move my cursor
Okay,
over
that's
these
dope.
mod sockets, it immediately shows me all of the mods that are
That is
available to
so
me.
cool. So we have customizable armor perks now.
Personally, I'm excited about the artifact. Players just get to kind of like fidget with these knobs
What?
and switches and do all the things that they want to do.
When you get to this last tier, each of these perks
I am
gets
the-
relatively close to what an exotic might feel like. That's going to be a lot of fun.
You have got to be kidding me. Mind you, this is still Destiny 2. 2!
Finishing moves are a new thing for Shadowkeep. What's your favorite?
I mean, there's some crazy
Two!
ones for the hunter. This awesome flourish where he actually does like spin in front of him, has 2 knives, and then just hits. I was like, what the heck? Like, what game is this?
Are you joking?
Yeah, Titan finisher.
What?
Jumps in the air, pulls back, looks at his fist, and
What is going on? What is happening?
there's so many different ways to dunk. You can behind the back, 360 cartwheel, whatever.
Yeah. Listen, we are straight at this point, just ragdolling enemies with melees. We got melee combos. We got.
What's good for the game? What do people
It's
want?
almost like it's an entirely different game. If this
trying
were a
new
reveal
ideas.
for Destiny 3, I wouldn't have been surprised. But this isn't just an expansion on 2?
I am working on.
Are you
an
kidding
exotic
me?
Heavy bow.
Right now?
And I'm just working on figuring out.
You've got to be kidding me, right? They're joking.
To see how big this. Okay, that's probably too
What?
much. But you get the idea. This is an exotic trace rifle. Fire it on an enemy and it creates a big old crit spot.
Oh man, that's gonna come use. That's the.
Victor's working
Did
on.
that
It fires
weapon just
special
have
ammo,
800 power?
and It's a little bit like a one-handed sniper.
Like, it's actually our only hand cannon with a scope on it. Right now, it kind of lights you on fire if you keep firing it too much. We'll see. Some people like it, some people are kind of but we'll hammer it all out.
Alright, it's time. It's about to get loud in here. 1v1.
Holy shit. So I don't want to be the person that says it, but
Especially with Season 8 and
I'm gonna be the person that says it. R.I.P. Anthem. Yeah, I think EA just needs to allocate all of its resources into Dragon Age at this point. There's no way that Anthem is going to survive in this climate.
Doing a bunch of the playlists and how they work, but the really important thing for players to know is this
Between the
is
genre
this is
leader
us building the foundation
right
of
here,
what we're doing
right now, and
personally going
Ubisoft.
forward.
No. Just bury Anthem. Just bury it.
Previously, you would have a 20, 40, 60-hour climb before you could do what's considered in-game content, and now you can pretty much do that immediately.
We want you to feel like you are in the end game from the moment you step on the planet.
Leveling up your Guardian and becoming more powerful, overcoming dungeons, overcoming raids.
For the raid, we had multiple destinations that we were considering, and Black Garden was like immediately top of the list.
And everyone was like, yes. And I was like, yes, that's the one I wanted.
With Forsaken, we've started finding more ways for players to customize and personalize their character and differentiate themselves. Shadowkeep's going to push even further in that direction.
The word, which is really guiding us in a bunch of ways, is depth. It's about experiential depth. When we look at how we're thinking about the next 3 to 5 years, it's really important to us.
It's cool to have a game that you can invest in with your friends, tweak your monster killing machine and make it 2% better every weekend, doing different things and figuring out how to craft this perfect build that you feel like is your own. Like, that is cool. There's nothing nerdy about it. We're like happy to own that. We're gonna stand on that corner.
As things change, if the game doesn't feel like it's changing to meet the new landscape, it just all fall down. Part of our DNA is finding different ways to bring people together. We needed a way to crush the barriers between friends.
We all have friends who could play Destiny, who are interested in it, but then we think about recommending it like, oh man, you're gonna have to play about 40 hours by yourself, and then you gotta pay all this money, and maybe.
I love that I got this announcement shortly after getting the annual pass for PS4 and grinding up to 690. That I can now use my Xbox character on the platform, so now I don't have to invest time in playing it on PS4 right now. Like, I feel like it'd be a waste.
Called New Light, and New Light is a free-to-download experience.
We're gonna start off in the same place where Guardians first
Jeebus!
the world.
Guardian. Eyes up, Guardian. It worked. You're alive.
You started in the Cosmodrome.
You're going back.
Going back. Yeah, blast from the past.
Oh well.
Okay, it's not going to break orbit.
The Cosmodrome was always in the cards, man. You can't have Destiny without the Cosmodrome. It's too iconic.
Play the amazing introduction.
Yeah.
And then land in the tower.
And then we'll set them loose to open up the world as they see fit.
And
Open
have
up
sort of
the
an array
world
of potential in front
as
of you.
we see fit. Oh my gosh.
You can just start playing the game and get into some of the same activities that
I feel like such a nerd. This is
The
fucking
campaigns
awesome.
from D to Year One.
So
War,
gosh.
House of Osiris, Warmind.
Every world we have will be available for them to explore and to free roam and to do bounties on. Every cooperative strike, whether they're playing with friends or matchmaking, every competitive multiplayer map.
The D2 Year 1 raids like Leviathan.
Just spreading cheeks.
Full access to
all over EA right now.
The hybrid mode that we have. All these things that are available to them.
This is how you do a live service game. Ah.
We've always said that Destiny is best when you play it with your friends, and we're trying to make it easier. So if your friends who are playing Destiny are on different platforms, we're adding cross saves so that you can move between the different platforms and play wherever your friends are.
Like if I'm playing and I want to move over to my PC, I should have my character go with me. We want Destiny to meet you wherever you want to play. So that's incredibly important for us.
We wanted cross save before we shipped Destiny 2, right? Like a bunch of it was built. We just couldn't get there for capital R reasons. And many of those reasons have disappeared. So we are headed full steam ahead on that. And we got to figure out how we're going to get there and how we're going to give the players what they want.
As culture as we can get. Thanks, buddy.
Our original vision for Destiny was a world that would evolve and change.
We're leaning really hard into that because we believe that's where the future of Destiny is.
The long horizon for Destiny is to become an evolving world. You know, you're going to tune in to see what's going to happen next.
We can completely build Destiny in the vision that we want it to be in. A vision that isn't dictated by a commercial model or a business plan, but our creative vision and what we want to do for our players and what they want us to do with Destiny.
I feel like our work isn't done. We have a series of missions that we need to finish before I think we have Destiny in the place that it needs to be, and we're back to, I guess, finish the fight, so to speak.
Finish the fight. Oh, how dare you! How dare you invoke the classic? Oh my gosh, they are doing Superman punches. The Twitch chat right now.
Welcome, gamers, to the Q&A portion of the stream. Someone's very enthusiastic back there. There we go. There's a bunch more enthusiasm. Welcome to the Q&A portion of the stream. If you know who I am, you're probably pretty familiar with me doing Q&A stuff. If you don't know who I am, I'm here to embarrass myself in front of thousands of people for the second time in a week. And I'm also your personal Destiny search engine. Most people just call me Dado. I have a lot of these, by the way. I don't think I have time to read all of them. I'm here. That was really, really loud. I'm here with Ben and Catherine, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk a little story action for Shadowkeep.
Wow.
Great.
And the first thing I'm gonna start with is Eris evil? Because she's kind of seemed evil.
She's kind of towing the
like
line a little
not
bit.
evil. Like
I will
sort of
admit
in a
that.
driftery way.
So
Talk to me.
Eris is definitely not your sterling like character like Zavala or
Right.
Cora. She's more complicated. She's been through a lot. She's this enigmatic, like mysterious character with tons of power. It's always on the edge of every new threat that's coming. And so she's decidedly not evil. I can say that pretty firmly. And what she is the one who's going to take us into a new threat and a new place that we have to actually investigate. Because she's come back. She's been gone for a long time. And there's been a lot of parts of the Eris story that we've gotten hints at. You know, we've seen lore books. We've gotten, like, seen what she did after the tower blew up. We knew that she went off. We know that she's worked with Marisov for a long time. And well, all those journeys that she's done have brought her back to the moon. A moon that we thought we had left behind, that we had killed the threats there.
For the record, I never at any point believed that we killed every threat in the moon.
The dark below. I see what you did there. Dark below.
I didn't believe that for 1 second. Sorry.
Speaking of Marisov and all that, I'll pose this question to you. Is this connected to any of the events of Forsaken? Is this connected tomorrow? Are we going to see any sort of link between the two?
We aren't talking about Mara specifically in Shadowkeep.
Okay.
This is an Eris story, but what we're doing here is we the Dreaming City was a really fun way of exploring the deep lore of Destiny, right?
Right.
We had Truth to Power, and we had all the curse weeks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I was
the
definitely
Marisov vignettes.
Marisov vignettes. So this is we want to do that, but for Eris, right?
Right.
We want to just go in there and be there's so much stuff. Like you said, she's a super enigmatic character. She could totally appear to be evil.
Mm-hmm.
She uses the powers of darkness and sources all her magic from the hive.
Right.
Why? What is all that?
Yeah.
And she's doing it to protect humanity. That is her mission that she's had for a long time. And if you think back, Eris's entire journey, what happened to her? Her fire team was slaughtered.
Pretty much decimated.
She barely survived, and the Transformers.
She sat in the bottom. She ate hive worms for a while.
People that destroy this threat that would have consumed the last
Got the
city,
third
all
eye
of
of truth.
humanity. And then she saw
Made her way out,
and she worked with all these forces that players and everyone else in the city had no idea were even around to try to stop it. She does things that no one else can, and she's doing that one more time.
Well, she's persevering a lot. I feel like eventually just get over it. Fire team's dead, but we got Crota, right? Give it up, lady. But
And Eris is like, nah.
Fair entirely, maybe.
It's never over.
I know. I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Just to go back to Forsaken real quick. Are we getting any hints of what's going on with Uldren and Marisov? Uldren, we kind of got a cutscene, and then it's all right, that's it. And then there's no resolution on that.
Touche.
I would love
I almost
to sit
forgot
here and
about
talk
that beat.
about Uldren. That's a conversation for another
Damn.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to turn back to
I
Eris on the
almost
moon
thought.
because I'm just super
Almost
excited
thought we'd
by
get
what we're
some
actually gonna
some
expose.
beats.
'Cause it's not just what Eris is doing there right now. It's not
Something
just about
tells me the
it's about
Guardianship are not
nightmares
going to be
of
very
now
happy about
infesting our moon. It's about the history
Uldren
that-
Sov still
it's about
being
what's changed
alive.
since you were last there. The moon that we remember from people who played Destiny 1,
Especially as a
lot has happened
Guardian
since they've
Yeah.
with
last
no
there.
memory.
That was actually one of my next questions is how is the moon different compared to Destiny 1 now? Because we had the Hellmouth, and that was, pretty intricate design for the hive and everything. How is that changing in Shadowkeep? Because a lot of people are going to say, we've already been to the moon.
Well, it's twice as big as the moon you remember.
Yeah,
Twice
as big. And as you might see, there's a giant red citadel now.
Yeah.
Looming threats, and there's mysterious entities, nightmares that are pushing out everywhere. There's also smaller stories that have been uncovered because of all of this chaos and happening in that place. The Fallen have a new place that they've set up, and they have their own reasons for doing that. The cracks of divided places you've been before. and changed how
She
you,
is far
play
too
and
salty for that.
start
That's
out and
true.
move through them. And you're going to discover old stories from who knows how long ago with characters that you remember, and they're going to expose more of what actually is coming in the future.
Are we going to see any potential new characters popping in?
Well, there's one of my favorite characters. I'm not going to say it though because it's spoilers.
Okay, fine.
I'm not going to tell you that.
That's
but
fine.
There's a ton of what this character does, and I read through all the scripts and I thought it was really awesome.
Okay.
Okay, that's vague.
All right, consider me intrigued.
That's a
Um,
nice vague
I guess one of the
deflection we've
final
got there.
questions I
Very nice,
have
very nice, very nice.
is, Why this storyline as opposed to any other storyline that you guys might have considered?
So we have internally, Bungie is a lot like the players in that we're always talking about Destiny as fans, because we are fans of our own game. We're fans first of Destiny, and Moon is a fan favorite
It kind of is,
inside
yeah.
the studio. And so it always comes up, okay, well, when are we going back to the
I mean,
moon?
it was
What about the
definitely
moon?
my
Like, we
favorite
just don't go there anymore. We should go back. What's
planet
happening on
in
the moon?
Destiny 1.
Wait, is that on the moon? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It turns into this fervor and excitement that, okay, we're going back to the moon. How do we make that
Man,
work?
I used to know the moon like the back of my hand.
The thing about every Destiny destination is
Harvesting those elements.
play through what we can release and what we can show and the stories that we have. But there's always more. There's always like another horizon or another like deep depth or another like entire region that is not yet explored. And I consider every place we go in Destiny to have more stories that are just waiting for us to like find the right time to tell.
Absolutely.
The moon has some great stories.
Yeah, I will have some follow-up questions related to story stuff later in the show, but that is just something I kind of wanted to know, like, you know, why this one? Were you guys working on maybe other storylines that maybe just didn't work out, or you want like, let's save that for later, or like, maybe we scrap that all together, or was it just like, this is happening, like, we want to go to the moon next, like, let's do it?
It's mostly that.
Yeah,
I think
the passion comes first.
The passion comes first.
Okay.
I think we're constantly thinking, like, as he said, we're all players of this game, and we're all like, oh man, yeah, what is happening on the moon, and what is happening to all these stories that we've been exploring for a while, and like, you know, it's just something. It's whatever is most exciting to us at any given time.
Yeah, and I think it's a relatable feeling that we're going after too. I mean, the moon is a place that was very dear to a lot of players' hearts, but it's also new to a lot of other players. And so, like, I consider it like you take your best friend back to your hometown. You haven't been there in 5 years, and it's changed. Like what has been torn down, what new is there, what still remains. You're going to explore it. And you'll be like, oh, my favorite Chinese place is gone, and now it's an organic grocery store. No, I'm going to go buy all the lettuce. You know, like, you're going to have. There's going to be these moments where you're going to rediscover everything, and it's going to have meaning for you, and then it's going to have meaning for your friend in different ways.
And I think it's also really exciting on top of New Light too, right? Because like the moon was like the big destination in old D1, and you're just like, okay, yes, we're going there, or I'm gonna bring all my friends there. Like, I can bring anyone there.
I was even calling New Light First Light for a while, and First Light was the big moon map.
Right, exactly.
Even, so,
You may get a little look at Force Light, just a little bit when you're running around the moon.
Oh, look forward to it.
Big nostalgia factor.
All right, do you guys have anything else to add before we transition here?
One thing, like when you talk about Marasov, the thing that I really loved about Dreaming City as someone who played it at home was going to the vignettes and every few weeks. And we really loved how that was a new piece of Destiny, like this Dreaming City cycle type of thing, and how you play it. And we're trying to instill those lessons into Shadowkeep as well.
Gotcha.
So look for cool lore drops like that over time, similarly to Dreaming City.
Cool. All right, well, thank you guys very, very much for joining me.
Thanks.
I'm going to rotate you guys out for some new guys. And don't forget to take your mug. Otherwise, I get yelled at.
My mug, you can't have it.
All right, fair enough. Next to the stage, we have Justin and Del. Welcome.
I want to hear more about those melees.
You guys, I have to grill you guys.
Okay, I just
more
watched
than
a
the story.
Titan
The story,
Superman
guys,
punch a hive ogre and watched
and
it
the
backflip into
seasons
oblivion.
And that kind of stuff. Real
What
nitty-gritty,
is
so
happening?
I got to grill you guys a little bit more. So let's start with
Design
Sandbox.
director.
Sandbox changes have been limited to approximately once per season. To many people, they think these need to happen a little more frequently. Are there any plans to change that? And are there any barriers to more?
Are your
frequent
tools
updates?
still crap?
Well,
TLDR.
We made the commitment to do a change every season to really look at the sandbox and how it was playing, and so we're going to keep that. Like we keep that. We think that's a good cadence every season. There's like some big update to the sandbox and how it's playing, make you rethink how you're building your.
I mean,
monster
sure, but if the
collection.
update
The
sucks,
real
then you're
hard
stuck
part
with a
is
bad update
It takes
for
time to do those
months.
balance updates. Like we have to look at data. The team has to get in the play test. We're looking at the community feedback. We're like trying to isolate how we balance it, and it's in a game like Destiny, it's big, so it's not just like balance it for one activity. It's like, how do we balance it in strikes? What's the impact over here? And so it takes time.
No, it doesn't.
Whenever we're taking
Make
time doing
separate
that, we're not
sandboxes
building
for
content.
Crucible and
it's just a hard balance for us
PvE.
to find, like, hey,
You
what's the right amount of
dolts.
focusing on
It's
balancing
not
the two,
that
and then focusing
hard.
about making new rewards and pursuits and adding the
You
depth
wrote
that we talked
yourself
about
into
earlier,
this
like,
corner.
you know, we want to update some of the systems, and we want to like make the game more interesting and like add more challenges. How do we
Boneheads.
do that? It's hard to balance those.
Then make them You know what?
Fair.
Chat, can I have some agreement here?
Another.
Well, it's
kind of
really
big
hard
topic
because it has to
question.
work in all these
Are there
modes.
any plans to completely separate PvE and PvP balancing? I know you guys are capable of adjusting the damage of
It's like
weapons
he's
in
reading my
PvE.
mind.
Do you feel like there's a need for that separation? Is there a reason why you
Yes.
haven't? I imagine if there is not going to be a separation, it's probably related to the same reasons you guys have been giving in the past. Your thoughts?
So a thing that we've always thought was super important for Destiny is that you have a single Guardian with a single kit and set of abilities that you can take everywhere. We give you a bunch of different experiences.
Yeah, but
like raid experiences or strike experiences or PvP.
I feel like there are still
roam,
exclusively PvP players, like say DSR Joker, and there are exclusively PvE players, like say My Name is Bite. Different strokes for different folks. Let them have separate experiences.
From your brain into the controller, like into the bullet. And that requires a level of consistency across the board.
You should just trust your audience to be able to play both modes effectively.
Bullets is shooting a Guardian in the head. There is some variance that we bake in and some balancing that we do, but we don't want to split them because we think if we do that over time, it's going to cause us to lose that muscle memory and that feeling of a single Guardian.
I don't agree.
Any activity in like
I don't agree
I'm playing
with that.
Crucible and then I get a gun.
Sorry.
And kind of wonder, like, well, what does this do when I take in the strikes? And they're not going to be optimized for every activity.
Right.
Even today, we do balance separate
Like, I
parts
shit
of
you
the
not.
game
If,
differently.
like, say if you had the Galahorn and it shoots 16 fucking rockets at the same time in PvE, because it's a boss melting weapon in PvE.
On the next question.
Keep going hard.
That same weapon,
Let's get a little business.
if it
out of the
shot
way.
one rocket
Forsaken and the
in
annual pass getting a price
PvP,
drop.
that would not
Doing
bother
that
me
with
at
play
all.
Shadow
I'd
Keep.
say, oh, it's more
so
balanced here,
what
and it
we're
actually
doing
makes
starting
sense.
Today is that everything that we've released in Destiny 2 up until now.
It will just make you reconsider your loadouts for both modes. That's really all it is. I mean, people do that anyway. People switch weapons for PvE and PvP play.
And that's starting today.
Not seeing it, guys.
We don't want to require any of that content to play new stuff. Like Luke and Mark said earlier, we want all of our expansions moving forward to be simple and a la carte. So if you like the stuff that we're showing off in Shadowkeep, you can just go and click purchase. You don't have to do the complicated thing like, wait, which pieces of the content do I own and which of these 11 SKUs should I buy?
Right.
And it's the same thing for recommending to your friend. Regardless of how much Destiny they've played, what they own, it's all the same entry point, which is just picking up Shadowkeep for $35.
Shadowkeep's $35. So we're keeping sort of that seasonal pace of content. Is that a la carte going to also apply to seasons?
Yeah, so we want the seasons to be a la carte because there were a lot of things that I liked personally about the annual pass, but asking people to pre-purchase $35 up front of a year of content when we didn't even announce what the name of some of the seasons were, I think is not as cool as it could be. Like it's better if you can wait and once you watch the trailer, once you hop in and see some of the content yourself, then decide if you want to buy in. And so each of the seasons will be available. But we also want to make sure if you jump into Shadowkeep, we're not immediately putting our hand back out asking for more money. So Shadowkeep is going to give you season 8 or whatever season it is starting for free as part of that.
So if I buy Shadowkeep in like January and it's season 10 or whatever, I would get season 10 as well.
Yeah, you'll just get that season. So you don't have to do the complicated question of like, which part of this premium content, like, do I need to buy? You just jump into Shadowkeep and you're going to have everything.
Or you could just decide to get season 10.
Yep.
Okay. I guess that kind of covers that question. Let's go to another kind of hardball.
All right.
The community kind of laments the loss of things like new strikes, new PvP maps, and otherwise new additions to what they would consider staples of the Destiny experience. How valuable do you think those things are compared to making new activities? And are we ever going to see stuff like strikes, new PvP maps, and that kind of stuff return outside of major expansions like this?
They're super valuable. I mean, you see it with New Light, like they're going to be the entry point that we want to get all players into and playing together. So they're really important for us, and the team has big lists of things that they want to do. We've tried some of it in the past, like for season 6, we did a lot of Gambit quality of life updates, and there was new maps for it. It's just, again, the challenge with a game this wide is we can't do that all the time. And so we're definitely focusing like season 8. We're coming back to the Crucible. Like we know we've spent too long, like we haven't done enough for it. We had a lot of commitments with Annual Pass 1, but now we're coming back. And I think we might not answer all the ritual game in any single season, but over the course of a year, probably going to touch a lot of different parts of the game.
Right. I hear you guys. I can hear you through Twitch chat screaming, "Ask about PvP." The question, it's here. It's for a different person, but it's here. Don't worry, I got you guys.
Yeah, and another thing I want to say there is like we tried to change up the formula with Annual Pass and with the seasonal model over the last year. Where if you remember before when we did DLCs, we would put a little bit of every single type of content in each one of the drops, but then that meant the whole team was working for months or years on just that, and there would be a long drought of content. And what we're trying to do now is every couple weeks, every single month, we're releasing something and keeping the world continuously evolving. But that means that we can't release everything at the same time. And so we've tried to revolve around and touch different parts of the content. But yeah, and for example, like I think we underserved PvP in the last year. That was a mistake with how we planned out the annual pass, and we're going to correct that starting in season 8. And then we want to walk around and touch all the other pieces of content.
Yeah. So would you say that there is a chance that we'll see like a new strike throughout the year with the seasons? Like, I don't think
certainly possible. Like we haven't planned out exactly what's in each one of our seasons, but no type of content is off the table. I mean, like I kind of want to throw it back to you. Like, what do you think the seasons are missing right now?
Yeah, I mean, again, it just kind of comes back to a lot of those staples of the Destiny experience. The game has grown very wide and just not very tall, which is something you guys are addressing in Shadowkeep. So I think the community would definitely like to see, you know, some strikes come back, a couple PvP maps, even like remastering some Destiny 1 maps, right? Bring back, you know, Rusted Lands and whatever else people want, Twilight Gap and all that. So I think people would absolutely love to see that. I guess final question for you guys. Do you worry about being able to produce the volume of content you produced this year without the help of Activision and the other studios? Because the community is insatiable. You'll never be able to make enough stuff to keep people entertained. And
yeah, I mean,
how do you guys feel about that?
Working with Activision, they were great partners. Vicarious Visions, High Moon Studios, they've made a ton of the cool content in Forsaken and the Annual Pass that I'm really impressed by. A thing that we did though was we knew that this was going to end at the end of the Annual Pass. So what we've been working on for the last year is reconfiguring the team to make sure that we're in a place where the set of content expectations that we've set for players, we can continue delivering on every single season. So I feel confident that we can keep delivering a season's worth of content that Destiny players have come to expect every single season moving forward when it's just us.
Yep. And then the hard thing, just like the original question about PvP balancing, is whenever we make new activity content, we're not being able to do the thing you just asked about. Like, well, how about servicing the existing stuff? And for a game that big,
always a trade-off.
Hard to like.
So it's too hard to do.
We haven't figured out the right balance for it. We're going to keep working.
You have almost 1,000 employees. What the fuck?
Cool new ways that are going to challenge your monster kill machine every season.
You're one of the biggest studios in the world.
Challenge your, like, give you new challenges
in the
for your
world.
character. But we have to do that in a way that also is healthy and sustainable for our team. Like, it's real hard servicing a game this big at this cadence. And so, but we want Destiny's going to be around for a long time. We want this team to be excited, to be able to build all that content, come in with fresh ideas, and really be able to tackle some of these big challenges and make the best experiences. So that's a hard balance.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, we have mailing
So I'm hearing it's just too hard to do.
With this many people, not everybody knows everything that's going on, and so people are asking, like, "Hey, is there going to be a strike in the new release? Are you going to go do this quality of life update?" Like, we all want to touch all the parts of Destiny as fast as we can, but we also don't want to ask the team to work every single weekend. Like, we want sensible, healthy, like, excited.
Ooh, that's shrewd and nice.
In the office, and
He's like, listen, we're working on this game nonstop, but we don't force our employees to crunch. You hear that, Kotaku? Don't expose us.
Do you guys have
We're
anything
nice
else that you
to
wanna
our
add
people.
before we transition here?
No.
All good? All right. Well, thank you guys very much for
I'm not
joining
gonna lie,
me.
Bungie seems like a really fun place to work.
And we're gonna rotate here to.
I love seeing developers geek out about their own games. It's a wonderful thing to witness.
Hello. Excited to be here.
Claps.
Look at how happy they look.
You guys are here to talk about New Light, something that I think
Dado actually looks more tired than these Bungie employees, and that's telling.
Maybe will not be engaging with it themselves, just like a lot of veteran players. Obviously, we already play the game, but everyone for a while has thought, man, they should really make Destiny 2 available for free for a lot of people, because you've done it in the past, right? You've done 3 weeks on Blizzard, and then like, for a month if you have PlayStation Plus, and then maybe there was something. I don't even know if there was anything with Xbox.
No, there wasn't, because there's never anything for the Xbox.
Am I getting access to with New Light, and when do I get access to it? I guess.
Yeah, this is really exciting.
Just spill it all out for me.
Yeah. So for New Light, it's a new entry point for Destiny.
What does that mean?
So what that means is that it's tailored towards new players, but all players can experience it. So if you make a new character, and if you're a veteran player, you'll experience the new light flow. And it's exciting because it's not a trial, right? It's not an expansion. It's not a different part of the game. It is the game. It's Destiny, and it's free, which is
very good.
Yeah, which
very,
is super
very good.
exciting. Yeah, exactly.
And as Raylene said, it's the whole game, right? So it's not just some subsection.
Interesting.
It's the full breadth of content that you get as Destiny players. So you get access to strikes, you get access to all destinations, you get to free roam, you get to look for lost sectors, you get to play all that content that's been out there in the world that you've been playing a ton of, right?
Right.
For free, which is really cool for us. I think that's a really
That's
exciting
insane.
change. And we're happy to have people actually get to experience that content who never have before.
Absolutely. I was watching Twitch chat during the VIDOC, and when that came up, I saw a lot of, is this Destiny 1 remastered and blah, blah, blah. Can you just clarify that it is or is not a complete remaster of Destiny 1?
No,
it is not a remaster.
It is not a remaster.
It is not a remaster.
No.
It is like the first mission is, I guess, remastered.
Yeah.
Right. So you do the first mission like you were playing Destiny 1.
I'm a little bit confused,
and then you're
though.
just flown right to the tower. You
If
land.
if I'm an existing Guardian,
I can go
how does that
do
apply
stuff.
to me?
Yeah. Right. So like, how do I? You said you would unlock things over time, essentially. How, like, let's say I'm brand new, download New Light, do the first mission, land in the tower. I want to go to Mars. What do I got to do to go to Mars?
Yeah. So one of our biggest goals is to remove barriers, kind of what you're mentioning, so that you can play together with your friends, and you can do that within the first like 20 minutes. So once you land in the tower, as you're saying, the first, I guess maybe I'll dive back a little bit for the Cosmodrome mission. It's about 15 minutes or so, and you'll learn the basic, elements of Destiny, how to shoot your gun and that kind of thing. But once you get into the tower, you can start playing strikes. You can start playing Crucible. You can start playing Gambit, and for the destinations, we have a system that we're building that will unlock destinations over time, but it's not going to be very, very long, right? One of our goals there is so that the world doesn't feel so overwhelming, right? So we're not trying to like lock content. We're trying to make it ease players into our world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it could be very daunting just loading into the tower, bringing up your map again. It's like, oh, there's 17 things here.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
what do I do? Yeah.
Yeah,
So the thing you were talking about there, where how do you get to Mars, right? You start after you do the Cosmo mission, you go to tower, and you have access to EDZ. You play that for a little bit. We haven't tuned exactly how long you'll play, but it's probably not very long. And then you'll start, as you complete bounties and other activities, you'll quickly unlock other destinations. So you'll probably be in Mars in like a couple hours.
Okay. So what kind of stuff am I getting with New Light? Like, can I go play the original Destiny 2 campaign?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I play Curse of Osiris?
Yes.
Yes.
Warmind?
Yes. Easy. It's an easy question.
So, okay. So go. Yeah.
Yeah. You can play all those campaign content if you want to. For us, we're making it optional, right? So back to the barriers kind of thing. We want, if you choose to play with your friends right away, right? And if you want to go experience the campaigns of the past, you can go ahead and play that as well. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Even like Leviathan?
Leviathan Raid, yeah.
Yep. Leviathan? Okay. What about Forsaken then? Can I go to like Dreaming City and Tangled Shore? Like, what's the limits on Forsaken?
So that's a little bit different. As far as Tangled Shore and Dreaming City, you can go there. We actually want you to be able to explore all destinations. So we mentioned that you'll unlock destinations over time. You'll see that Dreaming City, Tangled Shore, and actually the Moon as well.
Oh wow! Okay.
Shadowkeep, and you'll see all the destinations. You'll be able to play all that stuff. And what will happen is we're giving you all of that access. But then if you wanted to, like say you play Shadowkeep and you really like the raid content, you really enjoyed the way that feels with your friends, or you really like story missions, if you want to go back and play the Forsaken story campaign or any of the Forsaken raids, like Last Wish or the dungeons in Forsaken as well, then the Forsaken package is available to buy, and that's a separate thing.
Okay.
But all the destinations are available to you at all times.
So basically, if I want to go play like the meaty stuff of Forsaken, like you know, the raids, the dungeon, the campaign,
Exotic
quests,
Yep.
exotic quests, things like that. Things that are the beefy stuff. I would need to go buy Forsaken, but I don't need Forsaken to go play Shadowkeep.
Correct.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to add? Because I feel like we covered basically everything that I needed to cover.
It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about because as a new light player, you get so much content.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, on destinations you think about, there's also like public events, and then there's adventures. We have some like Blind Well, you know, content that that is public and brings people together, and it's just really exciting to have new players come try out all this stuff because there are so many kind of barriers before to be able to just jump right in.
Yeah, and I think a lot of current players have been hoping for Destiny 2 to go free in some way for a while. Like what you guys did at BlizzCon was fantastic. I saw tons of new people, like little level 3s and level 4s running around easy when I'm trying to go do stuff, and that was fun to see as a veteran player, just seeing like a huge new wave of people come in. And when New Light comes out, I'm hoping to see that again. And just knowing how much stuff they get access to as well is pretty.
Me too. My friends,
inspiring.
like anecdotally, like, oh, I want to play, you know, Destiny, but what do I have to do to catch up to you? So.
One more question. What level do I start at? So, sorry, let me clarify.
Yeah.
You have your character level, and then you have power level.
Correct. Yeah.
What character level do I start at? What power level do I start at?
Yeah. So we're.
Do character levels even matter anymore, though? Did character levels ever matter, though?
Right, but
aside from gating content.
Yes.
That's what you start at. So basically the cap
as of
of
today.
yeah.
Okay.
As of right now. As
totally.
Of
yeah. But our goal is that so that you can jump right in and play the most current content.
Yes.
Right. That is the main goal there. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. No, I mean that's sort of related to the boost that people can do for the beginning of the season, which I thought was also a very good idea. Helps people get right into it.
Yeah.
It's all platforms. All platforms. Perfect. If you guys have nothing else to add, I think that'll do it.
Sweet, man.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so
much.
much.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Talking to you.
Thank you.
And we have our last guest here.
Uh-oh.
Hey, bud.
Uh-oh.
I got some zingers for you.
Good lord, dude.
I got some hardball ones.
Comb your hair. Comb your beard.
Okay.
You've had a pretty eventful week, dude.
Eventful is one way to put it. Yeah.
So first, I know I want to talk to you a little bit about the raid, but I want to talk to you about the weekend before.
Okay.
Because so you're battling throat infection. This was like the raid was like your flu game, your Michael Jordan flu game.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Be Bold. Congrats on the world first. Carolina Gamer. What's up, man? Esoteric.
So so walk me through it. I've watched it. I was actually in your channel watching as it all went down. Like, just give me a little bit of like, you've had a couple days to process it now. Like,
I remember when they put out that impossible puzzle for Black Armory that nearly broke Datto. Like he was there for like 12 hours.
And I'm very happy with where we placed and everything. But man, like you got all these silvers and bronzes, and it's like, yeah, but a gold one would be nice. Yeah. One day to put on the mantle. Yeah. So yeah, we'll try next time. I think we got a really solid squad.
You'll have another chance this
Oh,
time.
nice.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right, let's get some hardball questions. Why did you decide to partner with Google Stadia? Because I assume the relationship's a little different compared to Activision, but I think many assumed that after you guys got away from Activision, you'd really go on your own. Is Stadia going to have a significant impact on development of the game?
That's actually a really good question.
Anything like that?
There's a couple types of development. There's the the first thing, why Google? Like, it's that vision that I laid out at the top with Mark. You know, the awesome action MMO, single evolving world that you can play anywhere, and Stadia is a step in delivering the play it anywhere step. The next thing about impacting development, creatively, it's not going to change our creative. Like, from the beginning, we've tried to make Destiny a game where it's like one executable. Like, we're not making exclusives anymore going forward. Yeah. But development-wise, there's an impact because we've taken a bunch of our talented engineering team to like stand up Stadia this year. So like, there's always trade-offs that you're making. But we think it's an awesome partnership.
All right.
That was a really, really good question, and I appreciate that answer.
You guys used the word MMO to describe Destiny.
And is it really the first time?
The first time that I can remember.
Publicly?
Yeah, at least publicly. Because I can remember dating back to an interview that Adam Sessler did with Destiny, and he said like they very actively avoided the word MMO. And so I was very surprised to hear that. MMO to a lot of people is scary. You know, it's a lot of grinding, management, education. Why the
We got some of those things.
Technically, yeah.
There's
Been kind of
definitely
bumping up
some, but
against
why the change
MMO
and
Lite for
what are
a
you
few
doing
years
to
now.
make sure that Destiny still keeps its identity while also expanding upon the systems that MMO or RPG players?
These are really good
Johnny
questions.
Two Sticks is like, I just want to shoot aliens. Like, miss me with the spreadsheets, right? So
yeah, so we're gonna preserve like the core action game for Destiny, like the Johnny or Jane Two Sticks comparison you're using. Like, we're always gonna be an awesome kinetic action game. Like, this is one of the things that's just like cultural here. Like, we have an awesome sandbox team. We've had an amazing group of folks who have built a rad action game. For us, the MMO language isn't about some of the baggage that comes with it. It's not about the like subscription side of things. It's really more about how does it point the way to where we need to go, which is that deeper character customization, a phrase that we've used here a fair bit over the last year. Is we want to get more depth on the character sheet. Like when we look at the character sheet, even post the Forsaken changes, the character sheet still just doesn't have enough depth on it. And at different points in the franchise's history, like we're coming up on year 6, it had more. Like when people were chasing, tier 12 or whatever, and taking King in Rise of Iron time frame, and those are the types of things that we want to start with and bringing back. But we think the future over the long horizon is much brighter than just that.
Yeah.
And so then the next part of it is really the social fabric, and we haven't built the right things yet for the social fabric for the game, and we want to make it easier for players to play together, get into activities. There are all kinds of checks that I could like sit here and write that we haven't committed to yet, but improving the social game is a check that we're gonna fix over time. And I just want to like remind folks that when we talk about things like vision, we're not necessarily just talking about like, and all of this is coming this fall.
Right.
We're really trying to, now that we can have that like open dialogue with here's where Destiny's going over time. Like here's where we're going on the long arc of the Destiny franchise.
Okay.
Well, are we going somewhere with this story? Because we started it already in like a very obscure, like, what did we just do in the Black Garden? Like, what? Okay. And then like, okay, now the Oryx story.
Destiny community right now.
Just like a Monster of the Week story. What we're doing this fall with Shadowkeep is, we did put some arrows into flight at the end of Destiny 2. And Shadowkeep is the next chapter in that like broader universe story. Like we are going to be, peeling back some of these layers over time. The thing that we're trying to make sure we do, and we haven't always done our best work with this, is feel like the universe is going somewhere. Like people want to feel like what they're doing matters, and that it's heading toward, I don't want to say a resolution or an ending, because I don't think Destiny's heading toward an ending, but heading somewhere where there's going to be change.
Right, yeah. Just somewhere where we feel like, oh, okay, this is where that's all going down. This used to be on my list. It is removed, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Trials? Question mark?
So the thing we talked about up front is, I'm glad you asked. I think that if you didn't ask about Trials, that would have been.
Oh, there goes the Twitch chat. Trials. Oh, there goes Bungie's chat. Yep, it's over.
Here's a new comp weapon that's just been easier to get, and comp is pretty bare bones, and PvP has been, or has felt neglected over the past year. And I gotta ask about Trials.
Yeah, so what we're doing in Season 8 is we are looking at the playlist structure, and we're gonna make changes to the playlist structure, and we're gonna talk about a bunch of that later this summer. The like crappy metaphor for the way I'm thinking about this is we have like some additions we want to make to the house, but first we've got to like look at the house and repair the foundation, and we've got like work to do and maintenance to do, and we have to do more upkeep and than we've been doing for sure. I think that a bunch of when I watched the raid this week, I saw the comp weapons getting a lot of play. So they are certainly motivating acquisition, and they're delivering a power fantasy. I think those things have been pretty cool, and I know that I know people love Trials. I certainly love Trials. There was a debate as to whether or not I should wear one of my now defunct Lighthouse Tour shirts for my friends over at Lab. And I think it's the type of thing that we love it. Like what we're trying to do with Destiny, and this is gonna tie in. Maybe if you decide to ask another question about the moon, what we're trying to do with Destiny going forward, like the total plan aside from the vision is we want it to be the ultimate version of the game over time, and that's kind of where we're heading.
Okay, but when is it coming out?
got work to do. Like we gotta repair the foundation.
Let it be known that I tried.
Yeah.
Okay.
Valiant.
Almost.
For that, I'm giving
card.
you. This is a hardball question, but I'm gonna role play. Okay, you're gonna be Luke, and I'm gonna be mad on the internet. TM.
All right.
How are you gonna respond to people in Twitch chat who are gonna say?
You still seem like Dado right now, though.
I know.
Character.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm always mad. You guys are reusing old assets to refresh the game under a major expansion. We already been to the moon. Forsaken had Dreaming City. Tangle Story. Dreaming City was crazy, and they had Scorn, and then Taken King had the Taken, and we went to the Dreadnought, and now we're going back to the moon, and we're fighting high. Like, what do you say to those people? Recycled content, by the way.
So
what do you say to them?
I know that you talked
Everyone's a
to
cynic.
to Ben and Catherine earlier, and I don't remember if they exactly talked about, like, when we take something like a planet and bring it back like the moon, we're going to update it to the latest context and change the world. And there's a bunch of like cool Easter eggs and stuff and Out of the Shadows for people. But the other thing that I want to address here with your question is, like, how does something like bringing a destination back fit into the overall vision for Destiny going forward, where we have made all kinds of awesome stuff in our history, and we have this opportunity as we continue to like grow this content.
I've always felt it
to update
weird.
these things, bring them back in new ways. Like, it's not coincidence that we've ended different things with references to things that we've done before, or like some note that
I always think it's weird when people complain about reused assets. I mean, as long as it's not
we really are looking at the backlog
egregious
that we're building and
or
thinking about what
cynical.
the future of Destiny looks like and how we're gonna be able to leverage that.
It takes
leverage
months
that
to
backlog
build some of
going
these
forward.
things. Why wouldn't you
Big Moon is
reuse
kind
them?
of us like dipping our toes in the water to see how it feels, and it's also us taking an awesome stab at what does it mean to take a place that we've been to before and update it into a new context. And it was the origin of this. Actually, a bunch of the origin of this came from some of our super talented artists here who they're playing around with the lighting engine for D2, and they relit the moon, and they just sent like a couple screenshots over to Mike, Zach, and I, and we were like, holy shit, this looks awesome. Like, this looks awesome, and we just get excited.
Yeah,
about
you
this
know,
stuff. We see
covering
it,
the
and
Cosmodrome in
the team gets their hands on it,
snow.
and they get excited about it. And
It's the little
there's
things.
It's like a Katamari ball of excitement, because the moon's a place that, you know, it's the thing like haunting us in the sky. Like, you'd like look up at night and you see it, and the opportunity of Destiny to go back to a place that's that nearby unknown and see how it's changed over the last few years. We think it's gonna be awesome.
All right. I got one more question. I assume you're going to be asked this at E3 anyway, so I'm just going to ask it anyway. Destiny 3, what are we doing?
Like, how do you even go there after an announcement, a stream of this magnitude? I'm not even thinking about Destiny 3 right now.
This time around, are we going to keep Destiny 2 and just keep stacking on expansions? Do you want to make a Destiny 3? Is there anything on the horizon? Anything? Because
I mean, now that they don't have to anymore, I'd say you got a pretty good foundation here.
Yeah, it's anything that we're gonna do beyond what we're talking about today is super far out. And like right now, we've really recommitted the team to Destiny 2, the next chapter of it's this fall. We've got plans for where we're gonna go with Destiny, and there's a bunch of stuff that we talked about here that we've got to deliver on. And a thing that I will say about the future of Destiny is that vision that we outlined is going to be true no matter what we do. Like, we are making an awesome action MMO in a single evolving world that you can play anywhere, and that's what we're going to be doing. Are you, did we exhaust your list?
I think we got like one or two more, but I don't think we have time to cover them.
Yeah, the clock is at 0 and beeping.
Yeah, it's angry at me.
And so, before we go, there's one last thing I want to talk about, which is, you know, behind us is an amazing team here, and we only got to look at a few members of the team.
Some really
today,
good lighting.
A few members in the Vidocs.
Gives
but
me
the
ideas.
Bungie team is so much bigger than just the 11 people or so here at the company.
Look at them.
Look at them. They're doing an amazing job. They're doing an amazing job, and you know they're
Working
so
around the
hard,
clock.
and everyone here loves the game.
Stick
and we're
us
trying to
back
make
on the
best game
moon.
that we can. And so I just want to make sure
Where
that
that
we
wizard
acknowledge the
came
team
from.
real quick. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with us. I want to thank Dado coming in. No wounds to lick. It's okay with second place.
Yeah.
Before we go,
Shots
we're
fired.
Take one last look at the trailer for Shadow.
Shots fired. Shots have officially been fired.
Looking to the future always brings us back to the past.
Lord. Lord, it's Eris.
Can you feel them? I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface, walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears, they rise again.
Bro.
And in the
Their
dark
artists are
below,
ridiculous.
something wicked.
Bruh, I killed all of you already. Bro, was that Gary? Was that Gary inside the moon? I saw Crota. I saw Foga. I saw what? What? Oh, it's my birthday present. Oh, the new Destiny expansion is my birthday present. September 17th. September 17th. Shadowkeep. See, Bungie does understand me. Pre-order. Ha ha! I don't pre-order things anymore. Fool me once. Shame on me. Fool me twice. I ain't gonna get fooled again, okay? I mean, not unless, you know, there's like a crazy-ass special edition, you know? Like it comes with like a full-size replica of the moon, then maybe, you know. And there's like a wizard inside of it. Then I'll consider it. You know? Well, it's a lot to take in. That was a lot to take in. They really did the damn thing, didn't they? I mean, who honestly would have thought? Who honestly would have thought that Bungie would go that far, that deep, and that expansive? I was expecting maybe a few changes here and there. Weapon announcement, expansion announcement. The Shadowkeep thing was kind of leaked yesterday on the interwebs. It's my fault for using Twitter. So I knew it was coming, but I could not have guessed about the complete overhaul of the armor and weapons system. I could not have anticipated or guessed cross saves, cross-play on every platform, including Google Stadia. Shoutouts to Google and your weird console. The value proposition is interesting. I just don't know if we have the actual internet to sustain it. Just deeper core mechanics, new weapons and armor, new customization options. The announcement of no more exclusive content bound to platforms, i.e., we're no longer screwing over Xbox and PC players of Destiny, even though they paid the same price for the game. Destiny New Light, a free-to-play version of the game that's built on a foundation of staggered time-release content, which I think is an interesting turn, and we'll get even more people on the wagon of bands. Just all around, a very impressive announcement. Like I said, I can't believe this is all an expansion after we thought there'd be no more expansions, just annual passes. They could have called this Destiny 3, and I wouldn't have been surprised. The fact that it is an update to the Destiny 2 package just, I mean, makes it even more impressive. I am beside myself. beside myself right now. I am nerding out on levels you can't even begin to comprehend. So happy. Can't believe they did what they did. But they did what they did. And it's all coming in, 3 months? 3 months. This is the power, folks, of a Bungie unburdened by shareholders. Is this what peak Bungie looks like? Are we reaching a new era of peak Bungie? You know? I guess time will tell, but the only thing that would have made this announcement more amazing is if like Joe Staten like peeked out from behind a desk and said, "Hey guys!" But pipe dreams, pipe dreams. I think that announcement was fantastic. I am intrigued as heck. There was a lot there to appeal to me, especially as a Destiny fan and a player since Destiny 1. And I think I'm not alone in saying that BioWare, you should probably not invest any more time or resources into Anthem. There's no point. There's no point. There's no point. Because you're not competing with that. You're not competing with that. You cannot. On any measurable level. Nope. Between this game, the Division 2, and whatever the heck Ubisoft is going to be doing with Watch Dogs, where we're just going to have people playing as pedestrians and normal NPC. No. Pack it up, pack it in. Let Bungie win. This is clearly their genre, their area of expertise, and where they will be investing all of their time and resources in the near future. You cannot get around it. Oof. I cannot deal.
A new mystery awaits you, Guardian. What will you find in the Emperor's lost vaults? Challenge, treasure, answers. Welcome to the season of opulence. To begin, head to the tower. From there, treasure hunts will lead you to powerful weapons and armor. These will quickly boost your power level and prepare you for the menagerie. This season's all-new 6-player match-made activity. Within this maze of challenges, teamwork holds the key to victory, and the chalice of opulence holds the key to your rewards.
I wish we had a date.
Unlock this new item's secrets, and you'll be able to choose the gear you earn. New weapons and armor, beloved treasures of the past, a new raid. Grow strong, Guardian. Prove your worth.
And the best part is that Sony is actually down. You know, Sony was usually, the elephant in the room, the bugbear, the boomer of the group that's like, I don't want all your new content crossing over with the other consoles. Back in my day, exclusives were exclusive. I'm glad that Sony is gradually opening up and lightening their stance on cross saves and cross play. First with Fortnite and Rocket League. Still haven't gotten it for Minecraft yet, but they're getting there. They're getting there. And for me, you know, I'm kind of conflicted because I was planning to invest a little bit of time into Destiny 2 on PS4. Now I'm just wondering whether or not it's even, like, is there even a point? Is there even a point to building up a character and grinding anything out anymore on that platform? Might as well just keep building on this foundation I've been working on for, what, 5 years? 5 years of Destiny is going down on the
at
Xbox
your
One.
service. Thank you for shopping at Eververse.
I gotta say though, they had me at cross saves. Let's all be honest here. That's the one announcement everyone was waiting for. Cross saves. You know it. You know you were waiting for cross saves too. I was like the #1 barrier. The fact that I'm so Xbox based, everyone I know, I'll say 80% of the people I know that play Destiny play it on PS4. And having split progression between platforms was just too exhausting to even consider. I remember playing the original Destiny on PS4 before I had an Xbox One. And when I finally did get the Xbox One version, you know, I had built up so many friends on both platforms that I was literally juggling versions. It was so silly that I even took a picture at one point. I even took a picture of both of my television. Like, I had 2 TVs on, both consoles at the same time, both in orbit. Like, it was silly. It was really silly. And I'm so glad that I'll be able to just take the same awesome character and just bring them wherever I want. Even PC. You hear that? We may start playing this game at 60 FPS just yet.
I am here for maintenance.
Finally found you. You're a busy little light. Do you recognize me? It's your beloved Emperor
Voodoo?
Callus. I've been watching you. All your good work. I believe you're ready. It's time you and I met more intimately. I've sent a gift to Nessus for you. I'll see you soon, O champion mine.
Ugh. That was too good.
Strength and light.
What? What did you just say? Bro, you are malfunctioning on levels I can't even comprehend.
Strength and light.
Mm-hmm. Someone broke that poor robot. He didn't deserve that. Someone broke that poor robot. The sad part is I feel like at this point there's no point in me having all of this random 700 level gear, or I mean it was, but I think the power cap is up now, so but that was fun. That was awesome. That was a dash of awesome and fun. Definitely peak crab. I think I'm gonna run around here for a little bit. Shake the trees. See what it sounds like. There's a lot to absorb here. Good gravy. I'm surprised they have 2 pages worth of pursuits. What? Lord. I honestly cannot believe that entire stream. That was quite the reveal. But I think I'm going to take this opportunity.
Is he looking at you funny?
Get opulent.
What can you teach me?
We may return later with an actual Destiny stream. I feel like doing it in this format would be a little weird. Just playing Destiny through a small window.
Thank you for your courage, Titan.
Forgive her infernal majesty for her unfortunate absence. She didn't mean it. But she'll be back for the next one. It'll be fun. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing my excitement. I hope you were just as excited as I hope I didn't talk over the interviewees too much, but it's hard to keep yourself contained when, you know, some of your favorite people are on screen and just answering some of the best questions ever. Good God, Gatto. You have transcended your platform.
Hi there.
Great show. Great stuff. Great questions. Great everything. Awesome stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching the thing. Appreciate you. I'll see you
Yes.
on the next one.
Whenever you need me again, Guardian.
Have a good afternoon, my fine feathered friends. And as always, be sure to follow us on all the things. Be sure to check out all the things. All the things everywhere.
We're just settling in.
Security sync check-in.
Including infernalpenguins.com. My den of rants that grows bigger every day. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, Shax. I think we can both agree that was amazing!
Our work is unfinished, Guardian. What can I do?
Well, for starters...
Victory smells nice, Guardian. But the Red Legion's not gone.